5 Minutes Funnier is back. Hi, and welcome to 5 Minutes Funnier, the comedy how-to, and I am your host, Jimmy England. Have you ever seen a touring pro on stage and he does the same act over 2 or 3 shows or nights or whatever the case may be, and if you listen to him, it sounds exactly the same one show after the other. Now, the reason for this is that they understand the rhythms and beats that are in the joke that they're doing. They have got it down to, yes, this is how many times, this is how many beats I have to do in this line in order to get the joke to trigger the laugh that I want. It's a very important part of doing stand-up comedy. This is what makes the Seinfeld show so different than a lot of the other programs that were on at the very same time. It was written by comedians, for comedians, in a style consistent to the way stand-up comedy is delivered on stage. The way we speak is very unique. It has its own rhythms and it has its own beats, whether we realize it or not. This is the way we talk. And if you listen carefully to somebody, especially if you record them in conversation and listen to them back, you will hear pauses, you'll hear there's just a certain rhythm to the way they are talking. Somebody who is doing impersonations of somebody. Now, this is something you don't see very much anymore, but it used to be all the rage back in the 50s and 60s. But what they parodied was not just the textures of the voice, it's the way they spoke. It made sense because they would speak in the same rhythm patterns as whoever they were making fun of, whether it was James Cagney or Kirk Douglas or Richard Nixon or anybody else. That's the way you did the joke. You made their rhythms your rhythms, and you could really hear it as a result. Now, if you're going on stage and you're doing a joke over and over again, and sometimes it gets laughs and sometimes it doesn't, take a look at how you are delivering the joke, how you are saying the punchline. Are you saying it the same way every time? Are the rhythms and the beats consistent in there? Because if it's not, that might explain why sometimes you get a big laugh and sometimes you get a small laugh. Now, don't misunderstand me. This doesn't mean you can go on stage, but you have to somehow be tied into doing something exactly the same way every time. You are going to have circumstances where it's going to be different, and you might have to change how you deliver a line or how you set up a joke. But if you understand the rhythm that's behind it, the number of beats that are in it, it'll make it that much easier to recover, get back into your rhythm, and keep things going. This is actually what sometimes happens when you get heckled on stage. You do have a rhythm going, ba-da, 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 ba-da. All of a sudden somebody says something and you turn around and you have to respond to them. And because you're improvising quite often, what you're saying to them, or you're trying to recall what what are your good put downs for these people, and then you get back into your standard structure of your act, you have a hard time because you can't quite find that natural rhythm that you had going for you. So it makes it that much harder to be funny on stage. Now, if you're recognizing that's what's happening, it's a good thing because it means you do understand what's going on. It makes it a lot easier to recover. It makes it a lot easier to be funny again next time you do that joke. And as a result, you'll get the laugh that you really want. But if you're up there every time and you're just willy-nilly about the way you structure your joke, you're not getting it. I'm going to come right out and say you're not getting it. Yeah, sometimes you're going to get a laugh. Of course you are. Of course you are. But a true comedian knows how to be consistent and deliver the line over and over again. They're like actors. You go on stage, you can't just be improvising and changing what you're saying in any play that you're in at any given time. You have to do it over and over the same way over and over again. Well, that's it for 5 Minutes Funnier. I am your host, Jimmy England. Please subscribe to this channel so you can get all of our tips and hacks for being a funnier comedian, and please share us with your friends. In the meantime, stay funny, everybody.